Hey, I'm Christina, this is Baking with Chicken. So we're doing something a little bit different, what we're calling a vlogumentary episode, a cross between a vlog and a documentary. So today on this vlogumentary, we're gonna cover, do chickens have best friends? Do chickens grieve death and their friends like people do? And I'm gonna explain and show you what this crazy thing is all about and tell you how I made it. Yeah, pretty good. All right, let's go. Bok, bok, bake. Look at you! You're coming to your name. You're so cute. Can I get you? Come on. So the question is, do chickens have best friends? And the answer is yes, they do have best friends. And chickens have an interesting, unique flock dynamic. So they're flock creatures, which means, they like to exist in a group and in a flock. And they have unique relationships with each chicken within their flock. And obviously they have best friends. It's actually really sweet and really cute. This is Lady Olgaberry, and her best friend was Raspberry. They grew up together as little chicks, and we actually ended up getting Lady Olgaberry because we adopted Raspberry from somebody, and Lady Olgaberry became so inconsolable. The woman told me that she had lost the will to live because her best friend had been taken away from her, and she asked if we would like to keep her so that the two of them could be together, and we said yes. And so that's how we ended up with Raspberry and Lady Olgaberry, and they've been best friends. And then when we got Fizzleberry and Butterberry, they grew up together, so they're best friends. They're together all of the time. The big question is, do chickens have feelings? Do they process death? Do they mourn like people do? It's been a hard week here at the Baking with Chicken's house because we lost Raspberry, and we tried so hard to keep her alive, but she recently died in my arms, and it was so sad. And I always feel it's strange that when an animal passes away, you just take it away, and its friends or its brothers or sisters or whatever you want to call them never get closure. It's all of a sudden they're just gone. So when Raspberry passed away, we brought her up here, and I showed the chickens, and I showed Lady Olgaberry that Raspberry had died. Lady Olgaberry stared at Raspberry for an unnaturally long time. She just came out and she just stared at her body and went over and kind of poked her and, pecked at her a few times like, hey, are you there? What's going on? And I think she knew that she had passed away, and she stayed out and watched us while we buried her. And then the next morning she came out and came right to the spot where Raspberry had laid down. Animals are kind of their own thing, and I will always say that chickens are assholes, and they are. But, seeing Lady Olgaberry's reaction to Raspberry absolutely convinces me that chickens process death and grieve their friends, just like people do. Your best friend is gone, I know. Losing any chicken is really hard, and, having Raspberry die in my arms was hard enough. But I think the hardest part is knowing that, Olgaberry lost her best friend and she's gone. And seeing her by herself is really the hardest part because it's a daily reminder. And, knowing that chickens do have feelings and they do grieve and process, I just kind of keep coming out and saying to her, I'm really sorry that her best friend is gone. But we buried her next to the chicken yard under the avocado tree, so the other chickens can actually see her grave and go to it. And we're gonna plant an edible flower garden in her honor. 3 Birds in the Hand on Instagram made a really great point. She said, owning chickens does something to a person on an emotional level that unless you've had chickens like this and loved them like pets, that it's just something that people will never understand. Okay, you can go now. And I think if you've had cats or dogs or other pets that you've adored, it's similar. I love you so much. But chickens are complex. When we first got chickens, I never expected to have this type of a connection with them. Raspberry was our top chicken, and we absolutely adored her. She was my favorite chicken, the best disposition, and she was actually the inspiration for us starting Baking with Chickens. It's her photo on the front of our website. It's her in these adorable aprons that I made for her. On November 4th is National Chicken Lady Day, and I'm hosting a collab with my friend Rebel Chicken Bakes. For about 50 people from all over the world are going to make chicken-themed baked goods or craft projects, and we're all gonna share them on November 4th. And what I love about National Chicken Lady Day, which is actually a real day, is that National Chicken Lady Day is about chasing your dreams and following them and making them come true, which is what Baking with Chickens is all about, which is why we started this, about encouraging people to kind of follow their dreams and do their thing, no matter how ridiculous it is. So in honor of National Chicken Lady Day, I'm gonna make a chicken biscuit sculpture in Raspberry's likeness. So follow me into my kitchen and I'm gonna show you the chicken lady project that I've been working on. Let's go. Hi, bud. Hi, come here. All right, so this is my real kitchen, not cleaned up for the actual show. So this is the holy hell disaster that happens in my kitchen after a bake. Check it out! Oh my God. This is my chicken sculpture made of all cookies in honor of my beautiful raspberry, inspired by Rosie from Great British Bake Off. It turned out so much better than I thought it was going to. When I first decided I wanted to make a chicken sculpture made entirely of cookies, I really had no idea what I was doing. I analyzed that biscuit episode of the Great British Bake Off like crazy to try to reverse engineer how the hell Rosie made this crazy ass chicken. How did I make this monstrosity, amazing contraption thing that looks like a broody chicken? Look at this, it even has cute little butt feathers. Eee. So this entire thing is edible and it is made from two components, gingerbread and tuile. So this is just extra gingerbread I had that I rolled out because I like to eat gingerbread. And this is a tuile cookie. So gingerbread is really great for cookie sculptures, and you'll see that a lot of the Great British Bake Off contestants will use gingerbread when they're doing the sculptures because it's sturdy, it holds, it's bendy, and it tastes really good. It's pretty easy to make. And tuile is a cookie made of flour, powdered sugar, and egg whites, basically. And when you bake it, it's nice and snappy. Mine aren't snappy right now because the humidity got to it. So they're not very good right now, but right when they come out of the oven, they're really snappy and they're really nice. So what I did was I took the gingerbread, I molded it into two halves of a sphere. So two big bowls and then two cones. So I used a foil mold and I took gingerbread and wrapped it in a cone. So we've got two circles stacked on top of each other and cones stuck on either side. And I used Isomalt as the glue. This is my first time using Isomalt and it was really cool. Isomalt is an alcohol sugar that is derived from beets. So it's like sugar, but slightly different. It melts and behaves in the same way. You can buy it online, but the difference is it's more stable. And once it hardens, you can remelt it again. So it melts faster than sugar. You can remelt it and it was pretty solid to work with. I always have trouble working with sugar, so Isomalt was amazing and I use that as my glue. What, Miles? Stop it. Lay down. Lay down, you stink dog. Good boy. So the Isomalt was the glue. So I used the glue, stuck the pieces together, held them on, made all these tuile pieces, and you'll see that I made the tuile look like Raspberry's feathers. So she's a barred rock, so she has these striped feathers. So I did two different colors, the plain white, and then I used charcoal powder to make it black, and then piped the black on top of it to get the feather pattern, and then individually stuck each one on using the Isomalt as a glue. Also, I made the wings out of gingerbread and stuck it on and was able to glue the feathers onto the wings. This is pretty freaking cool. I feel very confident that I could make this again, and I am so happy, and this looks like my adorable little raspberry, and it has so much personality. Thank you so much for watching this vlogumentary episode of Baking with Chickens. It's a little different. I hope you liked it. It's just a real, you know, a little slice of our life and what it's like here at the Baking with Chickens house, and the disaster of my kitchen and the reality of what it actually looks like after a bake and a couple dinners. So I need to go wash these dishes. This is my cat Muffin, sweet little thing. And this is my biscuit sculpture of my beautiful raspberry. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Christina, Bok Bok Bake.
Oh, hey. Oh, hi. Hey, yes.
Love you, raspberry.